Hey, good evening, everybody. JD here, 701 Nation, episode 27 tonight. Episode 27. I just feel like I'm a little not prepared tonight, but you know what? We're gonna go with it anyways. I got my list here. I was getting some stuff going, but some things happen. Got a little busy tonight at the house, so I didn't I didn't get my ass prepared good enough. So if I got a bad show, I apologize for it. I'm looking here trying to, hey, what's up, Josh? Thanks, buddy. Josh is watching on Facebook here. I appreciate it. I'm actually trying to share this one to our to our GAT 701 page. Here we go, right here. I'm going to share this sucker right now. Just give me a sash, and I'm going to share a few things. Okay, got that going. All right. So, anyways, Josh, thanks for showing up. What we got on tap tonight started all a little slow there. I apologize. The future of the 5.56 for military applications and 223 for civilians. They're always trying to get rid of these cartridges. You know, they're underpowered, they suck, this and that. They're not a man stopper. Hey, Eric Glauser, thanks for joining, buddy. Waylon Turnus, thanks for tuning in, buddy. Appreciate you as always. If I sound good, yeah, kind of turn my volume down. I figured I sounded a little loud on the live streams. If I sound all right, you guys, when you guys want to let me know if it sounded good. If not, I can turn it back up. Second off, we're going to hit on how to identify a mature muley buck. This third one, I'll get into this a little bit. Coyotes and badgers in Wyoming. Apparently, they're teaming up to hunt prairie dogs, which is pretty cool. All right, sounds good. Thank you, Josh. Appreciate it. And of course, the happy ending of the week, as usual. This one I think is coming from Chicago, and I'm going to go over a few things. So I'll go over a few things first before we get started and let people get on. We got a few people hopping on right now. Appreciate everybody getting on. Update 701 rifle range day. Dougie and I tried to pull that one on Sunday, I believe it was. Wind kicked up. Still didn't get my mic in for our new camera. I had to scrap the video of it. And if you don't know what the 701 rifle is, it's our sponsor, Bloodline Kinetics. Jake made Clay AR-15 and myself one. Shot real good, even though the weather sucked and the wind was blowing. It shot real good, but the sound was terrible. So we're gonna have to redo that one. Apologize for that, Jake, and anybody who's waiting for that. And this Saturday, actually, I'm gonna be going out to Axes. I don't know if you guys heard of they got the ball powder now, right? I got this thing down too. That drives my wife nuts. So I don't have a shirt on. Gonna test the ball powder. Stay ball match is what I'm going to test it in 223. Same bullet, same guns, but I'm going to compare that to 748 because the stay ball is supposed to be temp stable. I want to see what the velocity, if it's going to be more or less. The small amount of testing that I've done with the stay ball is that it has less velocity, but if you're going to figure in your regular ball powder, like I use 748, my 223s, I think it's best. But I mean, in the wintertime, it did drops you about 80 feet per second. So, but stay ball seems a little slower. But I mean, if you're going to lose that much in the winter, what's the difference? But we're going to find out. It has been in one of my ARs, it wasn't accurate, but in the 701 rifle, it was pretty good. And in my Ruger Gen 2, which I did get back, that shot super good. Not, I mean, and my 748 did too. I mean, the old 748 actually outshot the stay ball match by a little. I mean, I'm talking, they were both like bug hole groups. It was crazy. The 701, the AR, usually ARs are a little less accurate. I think it was right under an inch, but we'll get that done. I'll get that posted up for you guys. And Clay and I were actually on Dakota Mornings Monday with Michael Bell. Michael, appreciate you having us on again. It was the first hour. If you guys missed that, you can go on iHeart and look up Dakota Mornings, their podcast, and Clay and I are on. Like I said, it was for an hour. It was a pretty good show, though. We had a lot of good stuff. Had fun with Mike as usual. A lot of energy on there. Good show. We're coming back on the first Monday in January for that too. Mike said he wants to get us on for 2 hours, but hey, I mean, Clay and I are down with that. But I mean, if you want to do that, let's do it. And I think Clay is going to give the final update tomorrow on our poll we got on Facebook and X, the North Dakota State Rifle Poll. A lot more people. I mean, Facebook. I mean, dominated on our on a participation. I mean, we got like 150 votes on it on there. X, man, I love X more, as everybody knows who's watched this. I wish more people would move to X because they're definitely more freedom oriented and less apt to ban you. We can say whatever we want and do whatever we want with guns on X. Facebook, not so much. YouTube, again, not so much on there either. But the Facebook poll, the lever action is absolutely dominating. I think it's ahead by 30 points over the bolt action, and coming in coming in a distant third is my one of my favorites, the AR-15. I think we got 10 votes for the AR, and there's like 3 or 4 guys. Say, and on X, the people we got in there, it's like 75% to 25% lever action to the bolt. So Clay's going to have the final. I think we'll pull it down tomorrow after Clay announces that, and then next Sunday or Monday, check back. We're gonna do the state pistol pull or the shotgun. I don't know which one yet, and then we're gonna do the shotgun one after that. In case you don't know why we're doing that, Governor-elect Kelly Armstrong, we talked to him. We said, how about a state gun? And he said, how about a state rifle, pistol, and shotgun? So I know Clay and Deacons hit on that a little last night, but if you didn't catch that, that's what we're aiming for here. We're going to give Kelly the results, and as far as caliber and all that, I mean that's up to him. He's the governor. We're just going for what kind of rifle. So see, I missed anything here I was going to tell you guys about? I don't think so. So I'll tell you what, without any, one more thing coming up here in commercials, we do have a new sponsor. Well, yeah. Now that I'm spacing it out here in my head, we got it. Anyway, H&H Guns. This is going to be the last day. We're going to be playing their ad. I mean, unless Daryl gets back on board, because Double H is moving to right north of Wendy's on Expressway. Been great having Daryl on as a sponsor. I'm still going to go in there and buy stuff. Daryl's a good guy. All the guys who work in there are. Hopefully they gets back on board with us when they get their new building up. I think they're moving in January, so we'll see what happens. But we got a new sponsor. I don't know how long they're going to hang with us, but we got them for 2 months. Anvil Brand LLC, and that is they train barrel horses here in Bismarck. So I threw together an ad tonight. Deke didn't do his magic on it yet, but when we do the first ad here, you guys will see who they're all about and who they are, and good people. Known them for a long time, and great Second Amendment, great patriots. So it's glad to have them on board. And what they want to do is get on board with the Coyote Rifle Challenge, which is going to be coming up December 15th, I believe. And I'm going to post something for that tomorrow. If you guys want in on that, send us an email. If you know Clay, if you know me, if you know Deacons, send us a message on Facebook or whatever. If you want in on that, it's going to start at 11 o'clock here out west of Mandan, about west of that truck stop, probably about 5 miles of where Axe has his range. And we do got some coyote steel targets. So if you're going to do it, bring out your coyote rifle and what you shoot coyotes with. We'll have a little kitty we're going to throw together. And maybe you didn't see, we had the deer rifle steel challenge on Axe's big deer rifle gong. And I think we did that in September. And we had the prairie dog steel challenge. That was in October. So, I mean, it's fun. It humbled most of us accuracy wise and what rifle we were using. We'll see what's going to happen with these coyotes. I'm always optimistic about shooting stuff, and I was about the prairie dog too. And it didn't work for me. It didn't work for most of us, but we'll see what happens with the coyotes. If you guys want in on that, let us know. It's going to start at 11 o'clock on the 15th, so it's going to be fun. Anyway, let's get into the future of the 5.56 and 2.23. Like I said, I feel bad. I didn't prepare for this episode real well here. So if it seems like I'm going to do a lot of reading off of these articles, I will, but we will discuss what I'm reading. Josh Patterson says, me and the boy are hoping to make it to have to see what the basketball schedule is. I hope you guys can too, Josh. I hope you can too. Eric, I know you like hunting coyotes, man. I hope you can make it out there. That's both Erics, Glauser and our boy down there in South Dakota, Eric Newman. We'll see. Whalen Turner. Hey, if you're in town, bring you and a boy. Let's get after it, man. Some people don't like shooting targets. I love shooting targets. I mean, it's for fun and just to kind of see, people's marksmanship is up to what they think it is so far. Mine hasn't been. Anyway, So Larry Vickers wrote this article, like I said, the future of 5.56 2.23. And anybody listening for any amount of time knows me. Um, I am a 223 5.56 man. It's God's cartridge to me. So I saw this article and I thought it'd be something good here. So Larry goes on. He says, many trends in firearms and ammunition come and go, yet one constant remains: the 5.56. Now he's speaking to this through his military eyes, because he was special forces. Anyway, yet one constant remains: the 5.56. However, the 5.56 is one of the most debated rounds in military and civilian circles. Absolutely, it is, and usually it's because a lack of power. It sucks. It doesn't have any power, no knockdowns. You can't kill deer with it. It doesn't work for shooting the enemy. I mean, there's a lot of dead enemies of the United States of America that would disagree, and plenty of deer got knocked down, including my daughters last fall here that didn't easily took it down within reasonable distances, which Larry will get into here. So he says, having seen his capabilities firsthand as a Delta operator, so okay, and firearms enthusiast. So all right, so Larry was Delta Force, man. It doesn't get any more badass than that. I mean, what about the SEALs? And Delta Force is just as badass as the SEALs, and you know, the Air Force has the PJs, and Marines. I apologize. I can't remember Marines. I'm sorry. Anyways, he goes, I firmly believe the 5.56 will continue to serve as a cornerstone of modern small arms ammunition for generations to come. Thanks to its blend of performance, versatility, widespread adoption, this cartridge has proven itself time and again and will continue to do so long after most of us are gone. And I believe that. I mean, unless they start coming up with freaking laser guns, uh, I think it will be around. And furthermore, I'm looking at I'm sorry if I'm getting comments here, guys. Anyway, AR-15s, right? 20 what? How many million AR-15? 23 to 30 million, they estimate, and the vast majority of those ARs are 223, right? So or 5.56, 223, whatever you want to say. Uh, yeah, for that reason alone, the 5.56 and 223 will not be going anywhere, in my opinion, and Mr. Larry Vickers' opinion. So let's go on here. The 5.56 has been around since the early days of the Vietnam War. Initially fielded with the M16, over the years it has matured significantly thanks to advances in projectiles and powder from it. Right, and I'm going to be like I said, I'm going to be testing some of that powder come Sunday. Yeah, I mean, ball powder was a big one for velocity and easy loading, and it's always been temp sensitive though, the ball powder. But I think like H335 Hornady and like Winchester 748, and there's another one too. The military use. They use it in 308, and I'm struggling thinking of it. But anyway, early complaints right here about here's what Larry says about lethality and stopping power have largely been addressed with modern loading, such as the 77 grain MK262 and 70 grain bonded soft points. I go, yeah, the 64 grain that we've actually tested, which the FBI uses, are pretty freaking awesome, actually. And these 77 grains, and Black Hills Ammo loads those for the military. And maybe some of you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but I know it's at least 200 yards. They got to shoot one MOA for 10 rounds in a row. The owner of Black Hills Ammo has said that many times. BLC2, there you go. Thank you, Gene Cox. Appreciate you. BLC2, I mean, that's a crossover powder for both 308 and 223, the military. Yeah. But like I said, heavy temp sensitive. But yeah, BLC2, Gene is right on the money. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. And of course, he says within practical range, 200 yards, the 5.56 is undeniably an effective man stopper, which is right. And this range, so a lot of people are going, oh, 200 yards, what's that? This range coincides with the majority of real world engagements, whether urban warfare, close quarter battles, or rural firefights. And I know there's Afghanistan, there was longer ones, which I think is when they started getting into these 77 grainers more. They started out with like SEALs and Delta Force, these guys going in their small groups out in the mountains, and they needed more range. when these 77 grainers were thumping. I mean, if you listen to Jocko Willink or any of these guys who were actually over there and doing it, I mean, they don't really complain about that shit too much. They were happy with that 77 grainer. The small, high velocity projectile's ability to fragment or yaw upon impact has proven lethal time and time again when paired with well designed ammo. All right, so the yaw thing, I don't really know if that's something anymore, but I know in Vietnam it did do that, but that was because of the barrel twist. They started the M16s out at like, which oddly enough, it was more lethal, but the twist rate wouldn't. It was too slow and it wouldn't balance the bullets, so they would actually tumble. That's like a real thing, and it did kill better. I mean, accuracy sucked, but when you're keyholing into somebody in an FMJ, that works a lot better. And that's the thing. These 77 grain MK262s, they're hollow grain boat tails. I don't remember what damn convention it was in 1895 or whatever that stopped everybody from using anything but FMJs. But yeah, I guess they'll be able to use match bullets now. So, which, hey, good. I mean, the object is to get as many of the enemy down and out as you can, and full metal jackets. I mean, my buddies were over there, and they just said they put three in them right away with the FMJs, 55s, just three. Don't even waste time, just triple them. And if you were close enough, you do the hammer, which was my buddy Tony, the train guys. He said it was one to the head, two to the chest. They called it the hammer, and they did that when they trained the Iraqis with AKs as well. So anyway, modern loadings. Here he goes on. It's not. I mean, it seems like it's going to be a long article, you guys. It's really not. I make it seem louder because I get windy and stuff. If you guys have anything to add, by all means, put it in the comments. I'd love interacting with you guys. I mean, if you think the 5.56 and 2.23 is a piece of shit, by all means, put it in there. So here he goes in to talk about the 5.56 bears little resemblance to the predecessors. Yeah, aforementioned 2.62. Right here, okay, favored by Spec Ops, offers exceptional accuracy, which I said the Black Hills guy, it's 200 or 300. It's one MOA. I mean, I've heard him say it numerous times. I think it's on Tom Gresham's radio show on Sundays. I heard the commercial. He's had him on there a number of times too. The 77 grain offers exceptional accuracy and consistent terminal performance, even out of shorter barrels like the MK18. Similarly, grains like bonded soft points, which I said these 70 grains, and I got the 64 grains the FBI uses, work great. They work great. Provide excellent penetration, expansion, and addressing some of the round's traditional shortcomings. These advancements have refined what the 5.56 is capable of, making it formidable choice for a wide range of applications, whether engaging soft targets, penetrating intermediate barriers. Modern ammunition has elevated the 5.56 into a category that few would have. I mean, that goes with pretty much any modern firearm and cartridge, man. I mean, modern technology has made it. I mean, the 6.5 bullet has been around since the 1800s, and the Creedmoor came along, and I mean, now that's most people love it, me included. I got a Creedmoor right over here. Next time I go hunting, I'll be using that sucker, man. I love the Creed. I love the 308 too, but honestly, the Creedmoor is, I think, far more inherently accurate and way easier to reload for. And most Creedmoors I've ever shot are super accurate right away. All right, so here's why Larry thinks the 5.56 will endure. And then I'll give you my opinion on it too, and you guys go ahead and put them in the comments, and we'll hash it over. Despite occasional calls for a shift to larger calibers, yeah, which they're doing now. He says like this 6.8, I don't remember, but this thing's supposed to come out of the barrel like Mr. Blue Chain Lightning, super fast. And I mean, I've actually seen a guy on Facebook or YouTube. I can't remember what he's called, but he does like barrier tests and penetration. The 5.56 hung in there with this thing pretty freaking good. The 5.56 remains firmly entrenched. Its lightweight and manageable recoil allows operators and civilians to carry more rounds and engage targets quickly and effectively. This is a critical consideration in today's combat environments where mobility and firepower often dictate outcomes. Right. So talk to you got buddies who are in combat or family members, right? When they see somebody, they don't just sit there all the time and take nice aim like we do when we're shooting prairie dogs or coyotes or they flip that bitch to rock and roll and you think you're going to carry enough 308 ammo or these 6.8 things compared to I mean, you can carry 200 rounds pretty easy, a 5.56. You're gonna carry 200 rounds of 308. That's a lead weight on you, man. Same with these 6.8s. You got to factor in shit like that, like suppressing fire and shit. You do that with this, you're gonna run out of ammo with these heavier rounds because you can't carry as much. That's just my opinion. I've never been in freaking combat, but I mean, it makes common sense to me. And I've heard, other people who have been in shit in combat to tell me, yeah, you definitely want to have a lot of rounds on you. So I definitely agree with that 100%. Additionally, the 5.56 benefits from an unparalleled logistical footprint. NATO standardization ensures interchangeability among allied forces, while widespread adoption by civilians and law enforcement creates a robust market for continuous innovation of ammunition designs. Again, and I'm sure anybody who's watched us for a long time, I tell people when you get an AR, get a 5.56. Right, like he said here, our military uses it. Law enforcement uses it. It is the most popular. I did a thing before. It's the most popular center fire cartridge in America, the 223. Shit hits a fan, stuff goes bad, or you just need ammo or something affordable to get the job done. There's so much 223 and 5.56. You can get it at an affordable price. And like it's interchangeable. I mean, I guarantee you, a bunch of my neighbors have it, my friends have it. I mean, it gets the job done. Man, it's a jack of all trades, really. It's not it's the master of none, the old saying. And that's why I call it God's cartridges. America's rifles, they are, because it's just so available and it does everything. It gets the job done, man. So he says, while new calibers like the 6.8 are making headlines, they are unlikely to displace the 5.56 entirely. Instead, they will likely complement it, filling niche roles where their specific attributes are most beneficial. Right, right. And uh, like I said, the 6.8. Maybe I should do a show on it once. The ballistics on this thing are pretty awesome. Really, like how flat and fast it is, and Sig made this gun for it, but it's just, man, it's bigger and it's gonna. I guarantee you, this thing's gonna burn barrels out quicker and all this other bullshit. Jake Archambault here, Bloodline Kinetics. He says, I hope someone picks up 6 Max. I, I'm not sure what a 6 Max is, Jake. I got to get Jake on here to talk. We got to talk some ballistics. And Jake actually was talking to me about knives once. I was really interested in that, Jake. I'd love to get you on talking about the types of steel with knives and shit. That was a good. But yeah, I haven't heard of the 6 Max actually. See, Jake's way more into it, and I'm just like locked in, like 223, 308, 6.5, 9 millimeter. Like a lot of these guys, these new cartridges, I don't know anything about them. I'd be more than happy to have somebody come on and talk about it. So, final thoughts here from Larry. Larry Vickers, Delta Force guy. 5.56 is far from obsolete. In fact, it's a testament to the ingenuity of its designers and the adaptability of modern ammunition technology that remains such a capable performer for engagements within 200 yards with overwhelming majority of firefights occur. It's hard to argue against its effectiveness. And at 200 yards and plus, the 223 goes past the AK or the 7.62 by 3.9, and ballistically, it starts kicking its ass then. And that's another thing. 200 yards and in. I'm going Jake. Right, Jake. Respond. Jake was over in freaking Afghanistan. I mean, I'd love to hear Jake. I don't know. I'd love to have you on to talk about it in the comments. What you think of if if the 5.56 is shit, or it's like the 9 millimeter. My buddies over there, the 9. They're like, nah, I had no problem with the 9. The ammunition sucked. The Full Metal Jacket 9 is just like a hole puncher, but again, when they shoot somebody, just keep freaking hammering rounds into them until they were done for. So, and well, I got no problem with that either. I'd rather be one and done, but that ain't how it works. Eric Glauser says 52 grain 223 is still and always will be my favorite coyote round. Yeah, Eric, and you're not the first guy. A lot of people actually. I've not shot much 52 grain 50s. I have. But yeah, a lot of people are big time into that 52 grain. Jake Archambault says 6 Max is like 6 arc, but designed out of 350 Legend. Can be round and full auto. Oh shit! All right, that's freaking badass. So the velocity then, Jake, has got to be way more instead of that 350 big. The 350s are like what, 200 or 300 grain bullets, and you take that down to a 6 arc, 100 and whatever 3 grain bullet. That sucker's got to be smoke showing. I'd definitely love to see that. That sounds pretty badass, actually. All right, guys, we're 8:25. Man, I was windy. Appreciate you guys hanging. We're gonna do our first. We're gonna do all 5 right away here, right off the bat, and then right after that, I'm gonna do our new sponsor here, guys. So hang in there. We'll be right back. JD 701 Nation. When we come back, how to identify a mature muley buck. I will get to you guys' comments about the 223-556 if you get them up there before we hit that. So we'll be back in a couple minutes here.
Lauer Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. Lauer Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Experience the exhilaration of power in your hands at Bloodline Kinetics. Why Cerakote? Simply, it aids in firearm preservation while also giving your piece a unique look. Barrel threading, NFA laser engraving, bolt handle threading, mount, level, and bore, sight scope chamber rebarreling, and much more. Bloodline Kinetics is meant to reflect a long American lineage in gun ownership, who stand for the Second Amendment rights, Bloodline, and the science behind gun accuracy, Kinetics. To some, it's just a constitutional right that can go away. To us, it's in our American bloodline, and we believe it should stay that way. Here at Bloodline Kinetics, we understand that hunters, sportsmen, women, and gun owners should have a quality firearm. Stop and see us at 2008 Morrison Avenue 2 in Bismarck, North Dakota, 58504, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 701-390-7997. Visit our website, bloodlinekinetics.com.
Ever tried catching a fish with your bare hands or hunting a deer with a stick? Don't be that guy. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we've got all the hunting and camping gear you need. We're your one-stop shop for outdoor adventure.
A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
Check us out at mandansportinggoods.com, or better yet, stop in to 210 East Main Street, Mandan, North Dakota. Mandan Sporting Goods, where the outdoors meets functionality. Store hours, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Closed Sunday. Take up arms at Mandan Sporting Goods. Your adventure starts here.
Looking for the best gun gear for every and any situation? Little Angry Man Arms LLC has you covered. Top-notch guns from top-name brands like Winchester, Glock, Sig Sauer, and Ruger to essential extras from Magpul's, Streamlight, Hollow, Sun Optics, and more. Little Angry Man Arms LLC have everything to make your shooting adventures a success. Visit littleangrymanarms.com today and gear up for your next big hunt, competition, or home defense. Don't miss out on our exclusive deals. Little Angry Man Arms LLC, based in Trail City, South Dakota, your ultimate hunting partner.
Discover the world of firearms at Bismarck's Double H Gun Shop. With a wide range of products from handguns to rifles, we cater to all your shooting needs. We are your local gun experts. Not only do we sell firearms, reloading supplies, targets, and whatever your heart desires, but we also have a ton of knowledge and answers.
We shoot, we hunt, we compete, we reload.
It's been the Howard's way since 1976, and we ain't fixing to change anything. Visit our website at hhgunshop.com to browse our inventory. Double H Gun Shop, Bismarck's best new and used firearm reloading supply, gunsmithing, and sporting goods store. Double H Guns.
Double H Guns.
1021 South Washington Street, Bismarck, North Dakota. Call 701-223-4888.
All right, guys. Let's see, make sure I got. Like I said, we got a new sponsor coming on here. Anvil Brand LLC, raising and training tomorrow's barrel horses here. Tracy Bridwell, right out of here, Bismarck. Got a hold of us here. Her husband, Travis. I've known Travis since before I met my wife. He was out at Mary. He was friends with my friends out there. He's in the Army and National Guard. He's a helo pilot, and then Tracy's training barrel horses out there. So I'll tell you, here's that. I just put this here. We're gonna have a better commercial, guy. I apologize for I put this together tonight with my limited skills of making video commercials, but here we go. We're gonna get about it. Here we go, right here. Anvil Brand LLC. Check it out, guys.
Raising and training tomorrow's barrel horses right out of Bismarck, North Dakota. Tracy and her family are great American patriots who not only support the Second Amendment, they promote it. If you're looking for a top quality barrel horse, go ahead and give Tracy a call at 701-471-6629 and tell them you heard about it on Guns and the 701.
Right on, guys. Appreciate that, Tracy. Appreciate you getting on board with Guns in the 701 and 701 Nation. I hope you guys know anybody who's into, I think Tracy's had her business for 5, almost going on 6 years here pretty soon. Lifelong horsewoman, obviously knows how to ride horses and run the barrels. So, which I know very little about. So I'm looking forward. Might even have her on and talk about it at some point here. I'd certainly love to know more about it. I've watched barrel racing. If I turned a corner, I tell you what, I'd probably fall right off the damn horse, actually. So, all right, let's get to some of these comments here, guys. Let's see here. I'm gonna go. I got to back up a little bit. Let's see. Jake says, when Apaches are shooting laser beams over your head at 3 a.m., 5.56 doesn't seem so solid. Yeah, I haven't experienced that, Jake, but I would definitely not want to. I'll take your word for it. I know my buddy Monty Swenson told me that, old manager at the Alberton when I worked there, and he was out there and he said that too. And he got in the foxhole out front and the guy started exchanging fire with the VC. And he said it looked like a freaking laser beam above him and never been so scared in his life. Eric says, also make sure y'all come out to the tumbleweed for the big buck contest on Saturday. We have an adult mule deer this year as well. That's right. Scotty Mock told me that. And hey, former guest of the show, Tyson Schwab, he's going to be out there judging mule deer. Tyson's a big buck. I mean, he's got himself a nice muley buck this year too. So, head on out there. And I actually won a gun there a couple years ago. Speaking of 6.5 Creed, I did win a 6.5 Creed there. It was awesome. Hopefully I do. I mean, I think this year they're not giving away guns. They're all like Shields gift cards from 1,000 down to 200. I just bought a couple more tickets from Scotty Mock. So hopefully I win something there. If not, whatever. It's going to a good cause, man. You know what? I might be out there. I'm going to be in town. We'll see what happens. So, Jake Archambault, he says 62 grain 5.56 out of a 10.5 is doing around 26 to 2,700. 6 max. 62 grain is going 29 out of a 10. That is freaking small. That's what I thought that thing was going to smoke. That's freaking awesome. That's out of a 10.5 inch barrel. That is deadly freaking velocity. I like that. I like that a lot. That's badass. I know Clay was talking about, and I did see a video on, I think Demolition Ranch had it, the 17 by 5.56. Yeah, I mean, that thing is super fast, but they say the fastest to a mile. But with the BC, like a 17 grain bullet, even going, I think they've crowned that thing at like $5,000 out of the muzzle. I mean, that's going to lose. There's at a mile, that's not going to be the fastest thing at a mile. It might be the fastest muzzle velocity, but people who know ballistics will probably, 17 grain bullet. I mean, it's cool. He blew some stuff up. I actually thought, like when he was shooting melons and shit, I thought it was going to blow it up better than that. It's cool, whatever. I will never own one, but it was fun to watch. So anyway, let's go on here to how to identify a mature muley buck, right? And I got this out of Peterson's Hunting again. Like I said, that's not Clay Peterson's Hunting. It could be, but it's not. Like a mature doesn't necessarily mean big, right? There's big bucks, and I mean, I can definitely most of the time tell a mature muley basically by their body for sure, and their antlers, which they'll talk about in here. So I'll get into a little bit about. Like I said, I'm gonna. I apologize if I sound like I'm reading out of this thing because I am, but we'll read a little bit and we'll break it down and get everybody's comments here. Uh, so this guy starts out mule deer across the West are struggling to reach a mature age of showcasing their peak antler growth due to mismanagement of herds, habit loss, and predation from mountain lions and coyotes. But it's not all doom and gloom for the mule deer hunters, as big bucks are taken every year, which means some bucks make it to maturity when they slip through the cracks of hordes of hunters and avoid roads at all costs. That is true right there. Um, you know, in Montana. So I shot a buck. I don't know, like 5 years ago, and the guy who shot Shannon. Uh, Shannon, I'm spacing your name out right now. I forgot, but Shannon shot the biggest. Shannon McKay. He has a state record for the muley bow. I don't know if he does anymore, but he had. And that year, I shot a gigantically big, heavy, wide. The fork sucked on it, right? It didn't score a lot, but it was a beast. It was, actually, it's my favorite buck, and I have one that's a beautiful 5x5. But uh, Shannon said, if it ended up scoring like 159, but I mean, this thing's like almost 30 inches wide. And anyway, he said, in Montana, like what this guy's talking about, the struggle because they all get buck tags in Montana. If you're in Montana, you get a buck tag, you can go there and buy one right over the counter. He said in Montana, and John Armand told me this too. In most places, you're lucky if you shoot a 155 or something. It's a nice buck. And Shannon told me that buck you got didn't score big. He said, but most of those guys out there would kill to shoot something that big just because they're not, which is kind of depressing to me. And it's kind of, kind of goes along with what this guy's starting out and saying here. So he says, so what is a mature muley buck? A mule deer buck often grows its first set of antlers as a spike or fork at 1.5 years of age and grows according to his genetics and food availability, which is true. Like we had that drought. There wasn't all, most of the bucks were freaking dinks that were around and a couple big ones. They just didn't grow big, man. It sucked. And then last year we had all that rain and the drought did hit later, but I mean, it did help. I mean, I did see a lot of nice bucks getting shot, including my buddy Travis, who shot a hell of a nice buck out our place. His antlers continue to increase in size every year until his peak growth, on average reaching peak maturity at around 5.5 to 6.5 years old across the western states. After 6.5 to 7.5 years of age, a mule deer tends to decline in antler growth in the tine length and width, but continues to put mass on his antlers. Right, so that's why you see like not the bigger, and Travis was kind of like that. I'm not saying he was that. He might have been 5 years old, but I mean, his forks weren't very deep, and maybe that was genetics. But I mean, you see them older ones, them big, heavy, and they just look all crazy and shit. I love that kind of stuff. But you know, uh, so anyways, tends to decline in antler growth and tine length and width, but continues to put mass on. The older age class bucks can vary in antler growth dramatically depending on the genetics, health, and the individual, and the feed available during the spring and summer during antler growth. Okay, so right, don't stare at the rack. He goes on here. Uh, they pass on bucks. The body size and attitude and heavy antlers are considered indicators before this buddy's buck was taken as maturity to it, right? Biologist ages friend's buck here at 7.5 years. Um, I was looking at the large antlers, but man, the body to me is the main thing here. And he says when you're trying to select the most mature buck from a group, you want to look at the body. Okay, so yeah, right. And this is one of the key indicators to consider. Older bucks in the 5+ years have a large body size in relation to leg length. And I mean that's sort of like whitetail too, but I mean a mule deer to me it's more pronounced. I see. There was one this year we seen. I mean his antlers weren't very big, and Trav and I seen one a couple years ago. Huge barrel body, but this thing looked like it had freaking poodle legs on it. And the same same with this one this year too. He looked the same way. And antlers weren't very big. I I would be tempted to blast one of those if I have my rifle take, which I didn't this year. Hopefully this year I do, and I got the Bloodline Kinetic 6.5 Cerakoted from Jake. Well, so I'm hoping. Let's keep my fingers crossed. And with their chest growing deeper, in depth, thus making his legs look shorter in relation to his body. Younger bucks always look taller, slimmer, and longer legged, regardless of antler size, in comparison to the older bucks. That's obviously, like we just said. Ideally, you want to target bucks with a large body, short, stout legs, and a sway back with a belly that drops below the sternum. Yeah, I guess I never knew that below the sternum, but I mean, you can always tell when they got a big belly freaking hanging down. They look like a big heifer that didn't walk around much and eats a lot. So younger bucks in the 2.5 to 4.5 year range can breed does and can have impressive antlers when feed conditions are on a high, i.e., alfalfa field bucks or very high precipitation years. Yeah. I mean, hopefully this year that happens. Even though the antlers look huge, it may often be their smaller bodies that make them look much larger than they really are when the mature buck is not around to compare size. Right. So that's probably like, you get ground shrinkage, the thing looks freaking massive, and you walk up and you're like, ah, shit. You know, I, anymore. I mean, I can see, like, to me, the antler, they're whippy. They got the whippy antlers. And I see that, I'm like, even when I'm just beautiful 4x4s and big and wide, you just see that, them little like pinky size freaking antlers. It's just, no. So when possible, I always try to compare body size, and bucks are close in proximity to help make a better estimate of body size and age. And the next one he's going to go into here, I was just going to add before I saw it, like the nose, right? Even I even say the face, like an old deer. I mean, they got to me, like a huge, they got like a big head on them, most of them, right? They seem like they got a big fat freaking head on them. I don't know if you guys notice that. I do. But let's see what he says here. So I'm going to skip that part. Good demonstration. Blah, blah, blah. Many hunting stories refer to old bucks as having Roman noses, right? We all heard that, Roman noses. I mean, I don't know if it came from like old Romans who got in fights and their nose were swelled up, or their horses had big bumps on their nose, which points to the prominent snout of a mature buck. The bridge of the buck's nose often seems to have a lump midway between the eyes and the nose that rises up above the deer's normal facial slope. Right, like I said, you get like somebody gets in a bunch of bar fights, you got decked, you got a big hump in your nose from over the years of getting punched. You're supposed to duck those, but you can't all the time. I've been on both ends of that. This is often indicative of an older age class buck, as younger bucks tend to have a narrow face, right? In comparison, right? Like I said, they got little skinny, tiny looking faces on them, right? You see that and you're like, I mean, I say that. Some people don't give a shit. I don't know the actual cause, or I'm reading what he says, cause or at what age this begins, but my guess would be later than 7 to 8 years. Okay, he's saying when they get the big nose. As many mature bucks in the 5 or 6 year range often do not have full Roman noses yet. Hunters should consider a buck with a long, broad, stout, right, a wide head. Like I said, they got big heads, to be a mature buck when looking over a buck, and use this as part of their checklist in field judging. I agree. I mean, I'm not going to blame somebody for shooting a younger buck that's huge, right? I mean, God, what are you going to do if that sucker's and I have this argument with my neighbor guy up in Golden Valley all the time. If it's a young buck and that sucker's 178, man, unless I know there's a couple other older, bigger ones around him, he's going to get her. I mean, I don't live there. I'm sorry. I'm going to get him. So he's just kind of finishing it off here. He's going, like he said before, start with observing the buck's body posture, like he's how to see the mature buck, right, and the deer's behavior, other deer's behavior in his presence. A truly mature buck, mule deer buck, will carry himself in an aggressive attitude and posture when in the presence of other deer. I mean, I've witnessed this, and my friends and family hunt with. I mean, a big mature buck, and the one I was telling you about a couple years ago, the low to the ground guy with this huge barrel body, and I'm not kidding you. His body was unbelievable. They got the hell out of his way. His antlers were average. I mean, if I had to put a score on him, 142, but he was so big that he just lowered his head, and all the other bucks got the hell out of his way because they know he was gonna roll him, man. He was an old, strong, old man strength kind of thing. However, these behavioral attributes can be seen in even bachelor groups in the summer, as deer are always asserting the pecking order. Right, and I mean you still see with the younger ones, but not like when you see Big Daddy Don Garlits come in there. With the most mature bucks often parting the seas when they approach, which I just said they get the hell out of his way, right? Bad Leroy Brown. Um, coming in, he's coming in and getting the hell out of his way. Yeah, they give him room. They give him the girth to avoid confrontation. And body size, he goes into again. Finding a large mature mule deer solo is not common. I don't know. I don't know about that one. They are often with the other bucks in early season or doe in the fall during the rut. Using these other deer as a measure to determine body size is my second stop in this. We did see one this year too. This son of a bitch was twice. I mean, and my dad seen him too. It may have been the same deer. He made all the other deer around him look like they were freaking half his size. Dad said the one he saw, his antlers weren't that big. The one we saw was a freaking giant. We never saw him again. Feeling the Strike TV says not a commie or anything, but X39 is pretty lethal. All right, I'm not. Yeah, hey, you got to inform me what X39 is. I'm not sure what it is. So he's talking by body size. We'll show a. All right, let's go a little more body size stuff here. He's talking about sway back, right? I think I know that one too. Large belly. We said that drops below the brisket. I think he kind of went over this antler gazing here. Yeah, this one I want to touch on too here. Antler gazing will lead to shooting. He says the bigger set of antlers over the mature buck every time. I don't know about every time, but I guarantee you, if you sit there and keep looking at this sucker, you're going to talk yourself into it. I'll give my buddy Trav credit for this. I'm definitely guilty of this. I keep looking, and I posted that video today, that 3x3, and you can hear me say, "Are you sure?" And he passed. Man, even if I had a rifle tag, and it wasn't that mature of a buck. He was a 3x3. I said if he had bigger fronts, for sure. If I had a rifle tag, I would have lit him up. I don't mind shooting big 3-pointers, no matter how old they are. But yeah, antler gazing. All right, that's a good word for it. Like he says again, your typical older bucks will have heavier antlers with less point length and fewer number of points. Large 2-point and 3-point does not mean they are old. Which I just said, I know that one was not old. Oftentimes, areas will have a genetic attribute that grows large 2 to 3-point bucks that will never be a 4 or 5-point buck per side, regardless of their age. It's most of the stuff I agree with here, and we kind of go through spells at our place, and now it does seem like the 3-pointers are coming back. The last buck tag I had, not this year, but the year before, I did shoot that 3. He was not, wasn't a monster buck, right? He wasn't a monster, but he was a damn good buck. His main frame and his back tines were big. I wanted him. I seen him before the season. When I finally seen him during the season, I knew right away. Trav kind of tried to talk me out of him, but didn't happen. I got him. He's on my wall. Love it. It was fun. I love shooting that buck, and I'd do it again. Not on opening weekend, of course. You can. I mean, I have definitely seen deer on opening weekend. I would be more than happy to shoot. I'm not one of them guys like, nope, I don't care how big he is. I'm not shooting. I will do that. If it's a buck I like and he's big, I have no problem doing that. All right, so we're coming up here. 8:49. We're 10 to 8. We're gonna get back here. We're gonna hit another ad here, guys. I'm gonna do our 3, and I didn't get this. Our newest anvil, but I didn't get them incorporated with the whole chain. But I'm gonna do our first 2 big dogs here. Bloodline and Axe Hondo there from Lauer Auto Repair. If I can find them here with all 4, man, I might have to run all of them here because we don't have them separated on this page, and I'm not going to go through all these and try and find these suckers. So I tell you what, it's going to be goddamn bonus night for somebody. I'm going to run these, and then we'll be right back, and then I'm going to run the Anvil brand again. Nope, wrong one.
That's a war face. Now let me see your war face. You don't scare me.
Lauer Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake.
Make no mistake.
Lauer Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Experience the exhilaration of power in your hands at Bloodline Kinetics. Why Cerakote? Simply, it aids in firearm preservation while also giving your piece a unique look. Barrel threading, NFA laser engraving, bolt handle threading, mount, level, and bore, sight scope chamber, rebarreling, and much more. Bloodline Kinetics is meant to reflect a long American lineage in gun ownership, who stand for the Second Amendment rights, Bloodline, and the science behind gun accuracy. Kinetics. To some, it's just a constitutional right that can go away. To us, it's in our American bloodline, and we believe it should stay that way. Here at Bloodline Kinetics, we understand that hunters, sportsmen, women, and gun owners should have a quality firearm. Stop and see us at 2008 Morrison Avenue 2 in Bismarck, North Dakota, 58504, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 701-390-7997. Visit our website, bloodlinekinetics.com.
All right, we're back. I'm going to hit our new sponsor, Anvil Brand LLC. We'll be right back. I'm going to tell you what, guys. I'm going to skip the Prairie Dog one when we come back. I'll go over it super quick, but I want to hit on Happy Ending. We're coming up on an hour, and then a few other things, gun-related stuff, because I like talking about guns. We'll be right back.
Raising and training tomorrow's barrel horses right out of Bismarck, North Dakota. Tracy and her family are great American patriots who not only support the Second Amendment, they promote it. If you're looking for a top quality barrel horse, go ahead and give Tracy a call at 701-471-6629 and tell them you heard about it on Guns and the 701.
Right on. JD back here, Guns in the 701 podcast, live stream. See if I got to catch up on any comments here. I don't think I do. All right, Jake. He said give him a call tomorrow. He's got a plan. Will do, Jake. And again, apologize. I still haven't got out the 701 Nation rifle video that Jake built for us. I will say, Jake, I've run cold weather, shit weather, over 100 rounds through that thing. Good evening, One Shot Cap. Thanks for tuning in, buddy. Appreciate it. That gun is around like a sewing machine. The trigger in there is awesome. I want to get a few more stats on it from you tomorrow too, but as soon as we get a decent day, I don't want to do a half-ass video on that rifle because it's a freaking great rifle. Jake did a great job on it. It looks freaking badass. It shoots awesome, and we're going to get it done. And most of the ammo I've shot out of it has been like calibered them inch or less. Some of them have been, some days you can shoot buck hole groups and some days you don't. And I have shot some buck holes with it. I did a meme with one of the groups I shot with it there. What I say on the only group therapy that works, I think. And that's like, 0.4 of an inch group. It's freaking awesome. So love it. So Jake, I'll call you tomorrow and we'll talk about it and whatever else you got for plans. And all right, I'm gonna hit the happy ending here, guys, and then we're gonna. So real quick, this Prairie Dog thing. This will take I got it from Cowboy State Daily. Apparently, coyotes and badgers are teaming up. They'll like walk in parallel down a prairie dog town. Right. And once the badger goes down in one of the holes, the coyotes will run over. The coyotes are kind kind of ratty when the prairie dog runs out there getting the free meal from the badgers doing all the work. And I thought they always hated each other. Axe said if you go on because I have seen coyotes on a prairie dog town and badgers, but at separate times. But he said if you can go on a prairie dog town and get the prairie dog, the coyote, and the badger, you got like the big three in North America, the Grand Slam. That's like a prairie dog town Grand Slam if you can if you can pull that. And I would love to do that because I love shooting freaking prairie dogs. You're sick. No, I'm not. I love it. I'm saving the land from land destroying varmints. Anyway, happy ending of the week here, guys and gals. 2 armed men broke into the home of a 23-year-old woman in Chi-Town, Illinois, right? Chicago, baby. Gun control. It shouldn't even happen there, right? Because they got such good gun control and gun laws and all the hoops you got to jump through to exercise your Second Amendment rights, all that bullshit. At 6:30 a.m. on September 4th, the woman, however, who had been through, she went through the process obtaining a firearms owner ID card, a FOID card in Illinois. That's not the only thing. I mean, you got waiting periods, you got magazine capacity limits. Chicago it's like, and I'm saying Chicago, it's assault weapons bans. I think it got overturned recently here. But I mean, it's like a gun control lover's wet dream. So she had all that she produced her own firearm and shot at the scumbags after an exchange of gunfire. I mean, gunfight even, right? It wasn't just bang, bang. They were freaking slinging lead at each other. One of the men was shot in the chest and was later pronounced dead at the hospital, which is the happy ending to that story. The other intruder fled and it was not known if he had been detained at the time of reporting. Hopefully the shithead got wounded and got gangrene and freaking kicked over somewhere. Nobody found him. Hey, don't break into people's houses, even in Chicago, because you never know. Somebody took the time to arm themselves and exercise their Second Amendment right, and they produced their own happy ending, which I definitely love. Love that. So anyways, guys, I'm going to hit on a few more things. I'll tell you, I'm thinking, I think I'm going to do a show next week again too. Actually, I got all this stuff. I find good stuff that I think is interesting. I hope you guys think my show is interesting. I'm sure some people think it sucks and I suck, which, that's fine. But I got a lot of shit I'd love to talk about. I think I'm going to do it next week, and it's winter time. I don't really have anything else going on Thursday nights. So I'll put a promo out if I do. But tomorrow, 8:15 a.m., Clay's going to be on Mitchell in the morning. Todd Mitchell, KFYR 550, 99.7, and iHeartRadio. I'd appreciate it, and Clay would appreciate it if you listened on iHeart, because that way Todd can see who is listening to. I mean, he can see the audience. Thank you, Travis. I appreciate it, brother. He said, good show, JD. I appreciate that. That way Todd can see how many people are listening, because you can't tell by the radio you can't hold up a little meter and go, oh, there's 10,000 people listening to K-Fire. iHeart's doing the way that you can tell if somebody's listening to it. And Clay did get some real good reports from our appearance Monday on Dakota Mornings with Mike Bell. Thank you, Sheriff Kelly Lieben, for saying he likes what we're doing and keep up the good work. Thank you, Sheriff, and you do the same. People apparently like it when Clay and I were on. That's why Mike's talking about getting us on for 2 hours once. That'd be great, man. I'd freaking love that shit. Love it. And I said Saturday I'm going to do this powder test. I'm going to see if this stay ball powder. I will test it in the cold. Josh Patterson says, agreed. Good show, JD's. I'll enjoy it. Thanks, Josh. Freaking appreciate you, man. Josh is here every week. Any show we do, Josh is awesome. Super good guy. I'm hoping he can make it to that coyote rifle challenge. I'm going out to Axes at 9. I'll be listening to Dakota Prairie Outdoors with Scott Bachmeyer on the way out there. And about the time Scotty show's over, I'll get there. Axe and I'll go to work. I'll do a video on it. Another thing that happened in the test with the 701 rifle, when I told you the wind wasn't working, the wind was messed. Axe has one of these radar chronographs. That son of a bitch wouldn't pick shit up, which I have a short video of. I will post it. Brian Waters is late to the party, buddy. Just finishing a gun club meeting. Oh, Brian, I will excuse you for that, brother, man, my fellow MVE. So Axes, it was a Garmin. It was a Garmin. It was one of the Garmin like radar. Gene Cox is good show. Gene, appreciate you, man. Next time you're up in Bismarck, give me a call again. I'll buy you a Coke. I know you don't drink. I'll have a rum and Coke, and you can have a Coke or a Pepsi. I think Pepsi's probably better. I don't think they're as woke as Coke, or hey, I'll buy you an ice water, whatever you want, man. We can sit in my garage and have one. Maybe we'll have a Sam's Club bottled water. Yeah, that's right. I'm drinking freaking water tonight. But yeah. The Garmin didn't work worth a shit, these super duty. So we're gonna bust the Champion chronograph out then and do that because I'm itching. Lab radar. All right, my bad. Sorry, Garmin. Don't sue me for slander. I apologize. Lab radar. Do they make German short hair radar too, and top of lab radars? Because that short hair radar might work better, or German wire hair radar. Irish setter. All right. So anyway, we're not using the lab radar. That thing's been sketchy. I think during a Prairie Dog Steel Challenge too, when it wasn't working, and then it freaking worked. So, yeah, I want to find. I mean, when I do the gun tests with a 701 rifle, and I got a G2. Another 223. Yes, it's God's cartridge, man. The thing is, I have a longer range cartridge. I told you I got the 6.5 Gren, and when Jake gets that baby all pimped out and sweet looking for me in a barrel threaded, I'm gonna do that too. But yeah, I want to find what the best one is, and when I do the most accurate cartridge for that, and what works the best is what I'm going to use doing some longer range shooting for videos and shooting varmints and predators and whatever else. And so far, the Nosser Ballistic Tip 55 grain has been freaking cash money, especially in the G2. In the 701 rifle, works good. We're under an inch, but the best thing in that has been, I couldn't even load shit, but the Hornet A, actually the red box, the soft point 55 grain, shooting freaking awesome, man. The only thing that bugs me about it is it's a little slow. It's like 2750. I mean, yeah, could he kill a coyote at 400 with that? Yeah, but 300 to me, it's, but we'll see. We'll see how this stay ball works, and I'll try it again. I know ballistic ticks blow up, but I mean, man, the BC on that and carrying your speed and fighting wind drift and shit is so much better. Even a soft point boat tail, I mean, the ballistic tip's so much better. I know if Eric Newman, he's not watching, but Eric would tell me to get on the monolithic bullets. Maybe I will. I haven't tried any of those, so we'll see. I'm looking forward. I love shooting. I love shooting groups, and good groups freaking get me giddy. A tingle goes down my leg. So other than that, you guys got anything you want to add in the comments here? Like I said, update. I'll do it again one more time on the 701 rifle, or not that, but the state rifle, North Dakota state rifle. The lever action's gonna win this one, and I know Kelly was favoring that anyways, which is fine, man. But he likes that. It's people love tradition. Teddy Roosevelt, North Dakota. Kelly's favorite rifle. I said it before. I'll say it again. He's 6.5 PRC, 100%. That's his favorite one. My buddy Trav here who commented, he's looking at getting a new rifle. I mean, I'd definitely be down with that too. I mean, if you don't want to reload even too. I mean, ammo is so. I mean, multiple podcasts I've listened to, people who shoot way more than me, know way more shit about guns than me. They said just buy the over-the-counter PRC shit. They can't reload for it any better. Gene Cox says, does anyone make a counterclockwise rotation barrel in the northern hemisphere? Jake, if you're still listening, that's right up your alley, buddy. I always think that, Gene, when I see videos and the bullet's spinning left instead of right, I'm like, I mean, I didn't even know that was a thing, really. Is it? I mean, maybe Gene knows and he's just messing with me because I don't freaking know. And again, next week we're gonna do, like I said, because Kelly wants the rifle, a state pistol, a state shotgun. We're gonna do the rifle or the pistol next week, and a week after that the shotgun. I'll give him the info. He can do with it what he wants, or he can ignore it. He's the governor. I'm just here to help him out, and hopefully. God dang! You know what I was going to talk about here, guys? I'm going to hit on it just a little bit here. So the silencer, right? We got this guy who seems like an assassin in New York. right? Killed. And I'm seeing some of the anti-gun cranks starting to get going about suppressors. And we were talking about that last night when the last like homicide or murder or whatever with the suppressor, and I said, 20s and 30s, and nobody really, and I did remember 2019 in Virginia. Remember the guy walked in to, I think it was his office building that he worked at, with a 45 ACP handgun and suppressor. Not silent. Guess what? The cops were called because they heard it shooting indoors. But yes, he did. That was in 2019. He killed 12 people. I don't remember how many, and they were going ape shit about that, right? Ban suppressors, ban. One incident happens, we got to ban everything. And I mean, and they're one of the most regulated things next to full automatics there is, and yet they still wanted to freaking ban them. Not hasn't happened since, to my knowledge, until this guy did it. So Gene says, I was watching some video with super slow mo, and the 45 ACP was spinning counterclockwise. All right, man, I'm not doubting you, Gene. That's weird, right? Jake must have, when he's probably doing some Cerakote and whatnot, but I don't know. That's something we'll have to check into. I talked to Jake tomorrow. I'm going to ask him. So this guy in New York, right? He had a suppressor in Trump. And I'm not like a huge conspiracy guy, but listen, Trump's coming in. There's talk of getting rid of the ATF and the NFA and all that shit, and getting rid of the Hearing Protection Act. And all of a sudden, we get a guy doing a murder with a high-profile murder with the suppressor on. And if you watched it, the dude's gun jams like 3 freaking times, right? And before that, first of all, suppressors are illegal to own in New York, and damn sure illegal in frickin' Manhattan or wherever. Right? The handgun he had, it was probably illegal, and the goddamn bullets were illegal because they're trying to ban hollow points. And didn't matter, right? Didn't matter. But for all I know, the guy had a oil filter that he bought, or the oil, or the, what do they call the goddamn things you used to be able to buy and then punch the holes in them? Maybe you can still buy them. Barrel cleaners or barrel filters. I mean, basically a suppressor that's not, they don't have the holes drilled in them. Maybe he did that, and that son of a bitch was illegal unless he had his Form 1. I don't know. He, she, for all I know, maybe this was another gender confused person getting pissed at somebody, and they didn't get enough money for their transformation frickin' surgery or something from this guy's health insurance company. I don't freaking know. All I know is, number one, murder's illegal, suppressors are illegal in New York. The handgun that he had is probably illegal because there's like a certain trigger pressure squeeze. You can't have light triggers in New York, and it's freaking ridiculous. But it still happened, right? It still freaking happened. It didn't matter. Yeah, Gene's right. It's illegal to shoot people too. Exactly. It's illegal to murder people, which he did. He shot the guy in the freaking back. And then it jammed on him. I don't know if the guy was shooting subsonics or if he just had some piece of shit pistol, but he shot, and then he had to like cycle the damn thing 3 freaking times. So I don't know. It I mean, the liberals are going to crank this up about silencers, suppressors, whatever the hell you want to call them. It's not going to matter. And in fact, I remember this in Virginia when that happened. Remember Trump came out and he's like, one of the few times I got ultra pissed at President Trump in his first term. That might be something we have to look at banning. And that pissed me off beyond belief. And I had to remind myself that he's not like a gun guy, which I get. And Vivek Ramaswamy's pro Second Amendment. There's a bunch of people who aren't huge gun nuts like me and everybody listening here. But, he said that, and he reeled it back. I think Uncle Wayne or somebody went and talked to him there. Oh, Wayne off here, he wouldn't do that, G. He freaking NRA's a bunch of buckling pussies. No, they're not, but I think the NRA talks some sense to him, or one of his boys there, because both of his boys are actually big gun guys, love suppressors. In reality, probably know far more about firearms than I do. I would love to go shoot with him sometime and find out, but who knows? Anyway, you guys got any more to add here? I feel like I'm I'm rambling. I'm glad you guys tuned in tonight, watch the show again. Thanks again, Anvil Brand, getting on board with us, and as always, thanks to Bloodline Kinetics, Jake there, and our core sponsor, Lauer Auto Repair. Axe, that was down there today. Change the oil on the old freaking Nissan. Appreciate you. Mandan Sporting Goods. I got a text, Clay or Deke has got to change. They got the old address on there. We still got to change that. The new address of Mandan Sporting Goods, 206 4th Avenue Northwest, 2 blocks north of Runnings off of Main Street there. Great store. Brandon's he did good business. I've been in there talking to him. I bought that suppressor a couple weeks ago. In case you guys missed that, I bought that flow-through suppressor. It's supposed to keep your AR cleaner. I mean, it has. I mean, Axel verified that. He even saw the magazine there when we shot it out at his place this week. And he's like, yeah, I mean, it ain't perfect, but it's, usually when you shoot anybody who shot a suppressed AR, I mean, your mag is just freaking black. You can't even tell the color of your follower. And if you got rounds in there, I mean, the carbon's freaking it didn't do that. And it was pretty damn quiet too. I was pretty impressed with that. It Yankee Hill turbo T3. I know John there from Little Angry Man said he couldn't sell his. Man, I can't. I wonder if he did over Black Friday. If he listens to this, hopefully he did. I think that's a pretty damn sweet suppressor. So I don't know. Get yourself out, buy yourself something. I mean, hey, I mean, oh, again, maybe Clay's going to hit this tomorrow, but again, the next, I don't know how many months in a row, guys, but we went over $1 million again for the month of was it November? Went over $1 million, 1.4 million, I think, for the month. Black Friday was damn near 500,000 firearm sales. That is freaking awesome. So, and right now, if you're looking for a gun, all these gun companies got they got great mail-in rebates. And if you don't want to do that, you know what I do? If you think you got enough guns, you look for something different, get hold of Jake there at Bloodline. Get yourself a custom-built gun, man. Get it how the hell you want it. Get it exactly how you want it instead of buying one and then, I wish it had this and that, or you got to buy this and add this shit on, or I wish it was this color. Give Jake a call at Bloodline. Jake will do whatever the hell you want to that thing. Freaking make it exactly. It's like 701 rifle. Clay and I both got it on there. Clay on one side, I got JD on mine. Freaking awesome, man. It's awesome. People who see that gun in person, they love it. They love it. So, and so get out and do that. Support the Second Amendment firearms industry, gang. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to shut my mouth, guys. Like I said, I might do a show next Thursday. I'll let you know. I'm feeling it right now like I'm going to. I wouldn't mind doing it every Thursday while winter's going on, at least till May, April starts maybe. We'll see. We'll see what kind of viewers we get and downloads of the podcast. If it's going good, I can do it because I'm certainly enough shit to talk about. There's no doubt about that. Gene Cox says, what model of lever action for state rifle? You know what, Gene, I'm not. Whatever Teddy Roosevelt had, Kelly said he has it, and it shoots like a 406 something caliber. I don't know about lever actions. It was apparently Teddy Roosevelt's favorite thing. I don't know if it was here or when he Waylon, thanks, buddy. Good show. Appreciate that, Waylon. Awesome, man. Maybe I'll see you at the buck contest Saturday. Like I said, I'm gonna be in town, so depends on how many fireball shots Axe makes me start out without his place on Saturday. It's actually usually the other way around when I get there and we start bullshitting in his garage. But I'm not sure what model, but Gene, what we were going to do is just kind of narrow it down to what action. And then, I mean, if Kelly wants more input on that, okay, that's 1895. Okay. And Kelly wants to narrow it down to caliber. And he wants help deciding. Now, I'm more than happy doing that. It maybe, I don't even know if it's got to be something like the legislature does, or if it's just gonna be like a governor saying, this is our state gun. I can't. Do I have his number? Yeah. Are we acquaintances? Yeah. I mean, the guy's busy, man. I can't just call him and go, hey, Kelly, let's talk some freaking gun shit. I wish I could. Usually if I text him, he'll get back to me a couple days later. And I mean, he's said, if I don't get back to you right away, send me another one because my phone's blowing up constantly, which understandably, he's a congressman. Now he's a governor and they're going to be coming. But he's still making time for the gun guys, man, because he is a gun guy. Josh Patterson says, my neighbor has loaded hand loads for some of the custom builds Jake has done in his custom rifles. Are nice and quality builds. Oh, absolutely. I mean, I've seen some of the, well, I should, you know what, next time, if I'm on next Thursday, which I'm planning on doing, I'm going to put a picture of my group up there. And if you got, unless you guys want to go look, like I said, I did that meme on X and our Facebook, GAT701. I mean, they're all three basically freaking touching. And then it was a meme, and I said the only form of group therapy that's effective, which is probably true in my opinion. Um, if not, I'll upload the picture next week and put it up here. Gene says South Dakota has a state snack, Chislick, so anything is possible. Yeah, I know. Yeah, like every day I wake up and then like my wife or somebody will be, hey, today's National Bottled Water Day, and I'm, oh, really awesome. Every freaking day is. I had no idea. We had so many days for everything. Maybe I need a separate calendar to tell me, or an alert on my phone to tell me what day it is. It's National whatever day. It's I got to say too, like the ticker on the bottom, Deacon Clay. If you hear this, I screwed it up. I deleted what you guys had. If you're thinking it looks different, it does, because I was like, oh shit. Maybe I just need to be on. Tomorrow is National Gashpaco Day. Michael Bell says, "What, Michael? What is Gashpaco? I'm not aware. I've never. Is that Hispanic or Jewish? I'm not. That I don't know what Gashpaco is. I mean, is it food? I mean, if it's some food, I might be able to get on board with it. We still, as a matter of fact, appreciate you listening. By the way, Mike, we got to get you out shooting, man. You got to bring your gun up at some point, and then just stick around, and we got to make it happen. Because I'm curious. Mike's got the Ruger 380, fine firearm, fine firearm. I'm curious to see how you can shoot it. Cold soup, it's awesome, German, I believe. All right, well, I'm yeah, I'm about half German, so I love soup. Cold soup's fine with me. I actually get a lot of shit because a lot of my food I warm up. It's not hot. I I don't know. I got a sensitive mouth. JD or sensitive guy. It he says Mike says, "Hey man, brother, got to have wrist surgery first." Oh shit. Oh, okay, you're going in for wrist surgery too. Oh, okay, I didn't know that. I didn't. Good luck to you, man. Hey, I don't know who your surgeon is. Maybe text it to me. Maybe the same guy I did, because if it is, we know you got. Actually, update on the wrist, guys. Like I told you before, it was healing. So I started doing some wrist exercises with some weights and lightly. Man, in the last week, it has improved. Even since I was on your show on Monday there, Michael, it's improved quite a bit. I'm going to see my sister-in-law actually for a little physical therapy on my sister. If you don't know my sister-in-law, Amber, she owns Precision Therapy here in Bismarck. Freaking best PT you can. I guarantee you, Amber's the freaking best in town. She should actually sponsor the show, right, Am? But yeah, I'm gonna go see her, and I'm looking for some big improvements after I see her. She's heavy into her PT, like 3 times as much as I'm into guns and shooting. So that's great news, JD. Thanks, Michael. And like I said, I hope yours goes great, man. It sucks. And I mean, hey, having his hand, it's like, honestly, yesterday was the first time I could actually hold up like my handgun and point it, and it didn't hurt my wrist. So I was feeling good about that. And yeah. So enough about that, guys. Again, appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. Appreciate our new sponsor, Anvil Brand LLC, and all of our other sponsors that are in here. I'm looking forward to next Thursday already. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to tomorrow morning. Clay's going to be on with Todd Mitchell in the morning, 8:15 a.m. Central. Always good. Talked to Todd when I was in there, actually, when I was leaving Michael's show there, and yeah, you should come on again. I said, I'll fill in for Clay, but I think Clay and Todd got a good show going there. I enjoy listening to that, and I mean, it's not that I have anything against them guys. I just think they got a good show, and I would rather listen to it than get on there with them two guys. And if I got to fill in, I'll fill in. But I think actually one more thing. I know I said this like 10 times, but before I go, I think before Christmas, I am going to go on with Clay and Todd, and we're going to do a giveaway. Clay had some. He had some water bottles made and some tumblers, and I think we're going to give those away, and some caps. So, and we did that at deer season. Was it last year? Man, that was good. We had a lot of people call in for that. We'll do some kind of trivia thing. I'm sure Michael Bell, he'll probably get himself a freebie there. Clay might have, I think Clay sent him. He put him in on that text. But yeah, Clay's got some water bottles made and some tumblers. Not my flavor of color, but Clay's getting some OD green ones made, which is definitely my flavor, and I will have that. And we'll probably fill her up with something other than water when we get them. And we'll do another live stream. So, all right, guys, with enough of that, enough of me babbling on here. I think we're gonna end this baby. I'll see you guys next Thursday. Watch Clay and listen to Clay and Todd tomorrow, or watch them on our outlets. Clay will multicast that. But we'll see you guys next Thursday. JD, 701 Nation, keep your powder dry. Get out there, do some shooting, have some fun, and thank God Donald Trump won.